Amazon advertising, what the path? So spoiler alert, this is a strategy that I've already shared with our users, and these are some of the comments. So Susan, that I think most of you might know, say, brilliant Stefano, absolutely brilliant, this is a 10K mastermind stuff. Melvin, totally agree with her. Daniel say, wow, can implement this product strategy defense early enough, solid goal. Chris, this is the feedback after implementing it. It's seen like overall defensive echoes for the strategy I'm going to share about 30% and the offensive 40%, and is a big seller. And Susan, which was very excited at the beginning, got back to me with feedback. This was 2 weeks ago, so about 4 weeks after she implemented it, and she recorded a ROI year-on-year increase in sale of 20%, 27% just due to this, what I'm going to share with you. So definitely some money to be made with this new Amazon stuff. Who? I'm going to explain you who am I going to talk about, which should be more of what, but I say who. So I'm going to try to explain you what Amazon advertising launched recently, which is PAT, Product Attribute Targeting, and the EAT, Enhanced Auto Targeting. Let's go here. Yes, so Product Attribute Targeting. This is Amazon's newest targeting capability. So Amazon used to have this for themselves and in a limited way for us in the auto campaign. Now they open almost full control for every seller. By using PAT path, as sellers and vendor, we can get our ad to show and bid on specific PDP, which are product detail page, specific listings of your competitors or your own listing, and specific subcategories. So as of now, you are not able yet to target top level categories. And for the subcategories, Amazon allows you to filter, or as Amazon say, further refine by brand, by price range, by star rating, or a combination of the three. PAT can, as of now, only use at ad group level within a manual campaign. So you can either create a new campaign and add a PAT or PAT ad group, or you can go about adding a PAT ad group within an older campaign. You do have negative capabilities, so you can actually now negate ASINs and categories. No, sorry, ASINs and brands you can negate, but you can do that only at ad group level and only on the ad groups that have PAT targeting or PAT targeting. PAT shows pretty much everywhere normal sponsored products ad shows. I will cover that. I will show you later in a little video, but basically they show search results, not on the keyword search result, but on the department search results. So when you go about searching for a product by department, not by keyword, this is where a path will show in the search result page. Product detail page, which is below the bullets and below the image and below the call to action, and then also below the product description. Add to cart, checkout, and thank you pages. To ensure buyer has a good experience, Amazon control how many ads for the same product line you can show up on a given page. I still have not figured out how this works. I've seen triggering more than one ad for the same product. So Amazon say that they control that, but they don't really always control that. So you do have, well, I didn't figure out yet. So when I know, I'll let you know about that. How do we create a PAT ad group? So you will go about creating a normal ad group. You go about selecting whatever product you want to target, like you will do for a normal keyword campaign or keyword ad group. You will select your default bid, and after selecting the default bid, you're given an option. Either you go about with a keyword targeting, which is what we always had to do, or we always did, or you can use this product targeting beta. If you are to select product targeting beta, you are offered two different kinds of targeting. The first one is a category targeting, and you can either select a suggested category. So Amazon, based on the categorization of your product, or categorization, the SKUs, ASINs that you add to advertise, they will offer you suggested category, at least one, up to, I've seen 5 or 6. So it depends on your product, depends how what branch node you have and how you categorize it. And as well as using suggested, you can also search for categories. So if you want to target a specific category, you can do that. And whenever you select a category, you have an option over here, you see, to refine the category. And as I have introduced earlier, you can refine either by brand. Amazon will show you up to 50 brands within this subcategory. And generally, as for what Amazon says, the brands are, well, they are, to my knowledge, they're actually in alphabetical order. So no, they're not ranked by volume, they're in alphabetical order. And you can select the price range and you can select star rating. So you can, or a combination of all of them. And this is very, very, very powerful. We're going to cover later why. And as I mentioned earlier, you can also select individual products. So you can either, again, based on the SKU ASINs that you add to be advertised, you can either use what Amazon suggests you are relevant to, either a competitor or complementary accessory product, or you can search for additional product by name, ASIN, SKU, or you can enter your own list of ASINs, which we're going to come very, very handy in one step I'm going to show you later. Now, let's cover it. So, enhanced auto targeting is Amazon news iteration of the automatic campaign. With it, there are now 4 different default targeting options within an auto campaign. So before, when you were to create an auto campaign and auto ad group, you had only one targeting. Now, Amazon split it down into 4 different entities. One is the loose match, and the loose match will target query, will target words that are loosely related search terms from your product. A close match, this is also a query, this is a keyword, a word, and this will target highly relevant customer search term searches. Highly relevant and loosely related, this is based on how well you build your listing. So again, it's very, very important, aside from your marketing search, listing optimization, your copy, what keyword you put in your listing, where you put them, in order to give the right signal to Amazon and not to waste money with the auto campaign. And be very sure that your close match keywords, so the keywords that are highly relevant, are very well positioned within your listing and have a priority. And the other 2 are substitutes. This is not anymore a query, not anymore a keyword, this is an ASIN. And the substitute will target PDP, so product listings, basically, product that are substitute. This means direct competitors. So if you're selling a silicone spatula, this targeting here will target other silicone spatulas. Or complement, the 4th target within the auto campaign is complements. Complements, again, is a product targeting, PDP. You will target other listings, and you will target listings that are other complements or accessories. Going back to the silicone spatula example, either you're going to target, I don't know, like a garlic press, or you're going to target spare parts for your silicone spatula. I don't know, a new handle in case you break your handle, or a new spatula in case you melt your spatula on the fire. Auto campaign now, as before, are great because not only they show up everywhere and it's very, very easy to set up and it's kind of all automatically done for you, but also they give you great intelligence. They give intelligence both on what keyword or what search terms are good for your listing, what search terms are bad for your listing, what you should target, what you should not target, as well as what other products are good or bad, what you should and what should not target. Yes, like I say, auto target will continue to work the way it used to, but with the 4, rather than having one keyword, having 4 different targets will allow you much better budget allocation and much more saving. So basically will allow you to zero in your wasted cost, edit the bid or whatever as wasted cost, whatever is a higher ACOS, and move a budget that you're not spending anymore there on one of the targets that have a better ACOS or lower ACOS in order to increase volumes. Additionally, having a search term report that can be segmented by loose match, close match, substitute, and complements will allow us all to better understand Amazon matching algorithms and find new opportunities, whether of listing optimization or product idea or product targets. It needs to be noted that as of now, you still cannot negate, technically you cannot negate targets away from auto campaign. So as of now, apparently, although the auto campaign can target product display, product listings, you can still not negate, you can still not tell an auto campaign not to target a specific listing. Hopefully Amazon will change this soon. Where, as I said before, I'm going to show you where this will show up. This is a video. I hope this video is coming through properly. So let me go about play. Oh, hold on. This is something I didn't expect. Yeah, okay. So this is where the PIT will buy real estate, so sponsored product real estate related to this item. And you see, depending on the screen, I have 18 pages and up to 10 products. This I will discuss later. This is customer who view this also viewed. You cannot buy with real estate, but it's something that you inherit from the strategy I'm going to share. This is, again, the second placement that you buy on other people's listing. And again, over on page. And here again, you have customer also shopped for. Now, let's go. Next one. How do we go about targeting web places? And how do we go about building a structure that is both easy to manage and scalable? So I always, that's what I do for myself. I always invite any other users to use a proper campaign ad group structuring. Okay, so a proper product campaign and ad group structure will go a long way in helping you better manage and understand your data, as well as allow you to scale faster and better while keeping control of everything. I would assume that you already have a EPBA set up and systems in place for each of your product in order to manage that setup. What do I mean as EPBA? So basically, EPBA is one campaign for each keyword match. E is for exact, P for phrase, B for broad, A for auto. Each campaign targets a specific kind of keywords, and each campaign has been assigned a specific budget. This allows you to give different budget to the exact versus the broad versus the phrase versus the auto. At the same time, splitting down the matches by campaign at campaign level will allow you to keep all the negative terms centralized at campaign level, and this will allow you to have different ad groups within each campaign. First of all, for scaling, so if you have more than 1,000 keyword per ad group, you can easily put 1, 2, 3 ad groups while keeping the negative centralized at campaign level. You can split down your ad groups by top performing terms, by low performing terms, by lower bid ad groups, or by simply test a weird strategy you might have at ad group level, knowing that all your negatives are centralized at campaign level, and it's not going to drive you mad to remember what you negate here and you need to copy it here and paste it here. Aside from this kind of structure, I will always and strongly advise you to build and force yourself to use a naming system that is easy to recognize for you and for your VAs or for your team, and scalable, that can be repeated over and over and over again without mistakes. And in order to do that, I would advise you to use and include always a product nickname in the title of the campaign and on the ad group. Include always the SKU if the single product SKU if this set of campaigns is for a single product, or the parent SKU if you have more than a variation within this set of campaign within the EPBA set of campaign. Include item characteristics. I don't know what color you're targeting, so this is a pink item. Is it a multi-pack, 4 packs, 6 packs, 8 packs? Is it a small size, big? Or material is like metal? Is it silicone? Is it wood? Is it bamboo? And include always what match type this campaign is for, or this ad group is for. So your final example is something like this: spatula. Silicone is a material. All color, we're targeting all the color of this silicone spatula. This is the ASIN of the parent ASIN, and this is for the exact campaign. Or down here we have a bamboo spatula, which ASIN, it could be just a single ASIN actually, this one, and this is broad. Down here we have a baking mat, all sizes, so this is a parent ASIN, and this is a phrase campaign. And as for the ad group, I will simply advise you to take exactly the way you name the campaign and either add a -1 or simply add a -lower bids or -top performing or -test based on what's going on in that ad group, what is the goal of the ad group. Once you have this core set of campaigns, EPBA, that I just described, what you just have to do will be to add a 5th campaign, which we're gonna call PAT. So this is an additional campaign that is not inside any of the campaigns you already have for this product. The exact phrase, broad and out will stay there. You will just add a 5th campaign, the PAT campaign. And an example of a naming could be visual spatula, bamboo, ASIN, whatever it is, and PAT. Now, within each of these PAT campaign, and you will have 1 PAT per product, you will have 4 different ad groups. One that we'll call def, as for defensive. One we call ASIN, which you're gonna target your competitor ASIN. Is gonna work similar to an exact campaign or exact ad group. Brand, we are targeting competitor brands in this ad group, and category, which we will be targeting subcategories. The way you're gonna name them is like, again, you bring the same name of the campaign to the ad group, and you're gonna just add def -ASIN -brand -cat. This is gonna come handy after. Now I'll describe a little bit each one of them. So the defensive. The defensive is probably one of the most important and one who's going to give you back the most bang for your bucks. Defensive ad group. What the goal of this defensive strategy is basically to buy all the possible real estate that is up for sale on your own listing. So each ad group, each product you are advertising should target all your catalog, and you should have aggressive bids. Here we are targeting individual products. We're targeting our own brands, our own products, and you will have to add ASIN by ASIN manually. I mean, you can add the copy paste in bulk, but this one by one manually. Target, like I said, target every single ASIN in your catalog. If you have more than a brand, perhaps you just want to target all that brand. But if you're selling just one brand per account, target every single ASIN in your catalog, including, and very important, the parent ASINs. The parent ASINs, you're not going to make any sale out of a parent, but it's very important to target the parents. And also any related videos or video review ASINs. Now this might come as a surprise, but yes, videos on Amazon have ASINs like product. So if you are to click on any video, whether it is a video review or a the 7th listing there is a video, those have ASINs. So you click on them, in the URL there will be the ASIN, and you can target them. You can target your own video, your own reviews, and you should. And you can also go about targeting your competitors' video, competitors' reviews. But let's focus on our product. The end result of this defensive strategy, which like I showed before, brought Susan a year-on-year increase in selling 25% in a matter of not even 2 months, is this. This is the same exact video that I showed you before, but now you will have a different context. Let me put this one. Okay, high quality. Okay, so we are back to where we were before. So the way this person did, so let me clear this one out. So this guy is selling this product. Look at the brand, Miley. Look what he did. Every single item on the first line of sports or product related to this item is its own brand. So it's targeting himself like there is no tomorrow. And he's paying to be there. I mean, he will pay if I click on this, he will pay. But the beauty of this is that you have a lot of customer or visitor retention. So you pay to get people to your listing. You pay either being Amazon PPC or Facebook ads or Google ads, or simply you pay to rank your product. You will get visitors. You want to remove any kind of distraction as much as possible from your listing. And if there has to be distraction and you really don't have control on what Amazon shows, at least the distraction must be your own brand. If you do so, over time, what will happen is that although you have to pay to be featured over here in the sponsored product related to this item, what you will see happening is that once a visitor reach, okay, this is like to show you that even the next page is Miley. Okay, so that's where it gets very, very interesting. So even though he's paying to be on the line above, this is customer review, this item also viewed. Simply because this guy is targeted himself and simply because he's increasing his visitor retention, he will automatically start being featured also down here. So there's no way to pay to be here. This happens only because most of the visitors of this listing will continue, clicking inside this product over and over and over in a loop. And all this product eventually will be featured in the customer review of this item also view. And this will increase your sales and will increase dramatically your visitor retention and will make all your efforts, all advertising effort, market effort, much easier. So let me jump to the end of this and I will show you that there's another line. All right, here are, let's again. So this is the second section, which comes down below the product description or below the ECB. Also here, as you see, the guy, the Miley guy, is paying to be shown here, Miley, but customer also shopped for, again, this happens organically, all right? The first 3 spots are his one, organically, because he has very good visitor retention and buyer retention due to this defensive strategy. Okay, let's move to the next slide. Now, I explained what is the def ad group. Now we're gonna move to the ASIN ad group. The ASIN ad group is an offensive ad group, and you can, it's very similar to an exact match campaign. Also here we are targeting individual products, and you will have to select all the suggested product that Amazon offer you. As a bid, I will advise you to use about 80% of the bid that you're using at the defensive ad group level. It's very important that when you go about creating this ad group, the ASIN ad group, you need to negate your brand away from this ad group. So you will go to negative targets and in the ad group, at ad group level, and you select exclude brands, and you will exclude your brand. You will exclude all the products that you are bidding on the defensive ad group. This is a technique that is called search term isolation, which I do use over and over again, and it saved me a lot of money on the EPBA settings, and I moved it down and adapted to be used on the product targeting. Next slide. Okay, so the third ad group that you should create is a brand ad group. This is a bit of a research ad group and is comparable to a phrase match or phrase campaign. what we are targeting here are all brands within the suggested category Amazon gives you after you tell Amazon what products, what ASIN you want to advertise. For each of the category, we will select all the brands that Amazon allows us to select. Generally is about 50 brands for category or subcategory. So for each category, we're going to select all the brands, about 50 of them, and for each of the brand, we will have to create 4 different filters, or as Amazon calls them, refinement. The first refinement is that we're going to go and target specifically brands, products within a brand that have a higher price point compared to the product I'm advertising and a lower star rating. Now, the chances to convert on a product that is a higher price on mine and a lower star rating on mine are very, very high. So the bid that I'm going to use on this ad group is going to be about 100%, so pretty much the same that you might have used for your defensive ad group. Now, on second, we're going to use select this filter, lower price, lower rating. So we're going to target products that are cheaper than ours, but also with a lower star rating. This we have slightly less chances of make a conversion, so we're going to bid 80% of our default bid, or the bid that I use as a defensive ad group. Third, we're going to target product with a higher price, but a higher star rating. Yes, they do have a higher price, but also they have a higher star rating, so they might have a higher perceived value. So the chance that they have of converting on these products is lower than the initial two. So here I'm going to use a bid that is around 60% of what I used at the defensive ad group, or what I used up here. And lastly, I'm going to target products that have a lower price than mine and a higher star rating. So my chances of conversion here are pretty slim, but you never know what goes through the mind of a buyer. So why not trying? Why not buying some data and see how it goes? And here, because the chances are low, I'm going to use a bid that is about 40% of what I've used, of the highest bid that I used. It is very, very important that when creating the brand campaign, you add as negative target. So in the ad group level, add negative target and select exclude brands. You want to exclude your own brand, the brand, well, all the ASIN that you use at the defensive ad group, as well as you need to negate, you need to exclude products, all the suggested ASINs that you used on this ad group. Okay, again, search term isolation in this case is targeting isolation. You don't want to bid on the same target, on the same ASIN in more than one location within all your account, ideally. The fourth ad group is the category ad group. This also, like the previous one, is a research ad group, and it's comparable to a broad keyword, to a broad campaign. Here we will target only our suggested categories. So in the previous ad group, we take a suggested category and we target specific brands within them. Maximum 15 per category you can. In this one, we just target the subcategory. As previously, we will add our 4 refinements: higher price, lower rating, lower price, lower rating, higher price, higher rating, lower price, higher rating. And we're gonna use the same kind of bidding strategy that I showed you before. So 100% for the high chance of conversion, 80% for a lower chance of conversion, 60% for an even lower one, and 40% for a extremely low chance of conversion. And as previously, it's very important that when you go about creating this ad group, you go and exclude, you're going to isolate everything that you are bidding on the previous ad groups, which is the brand, the ASIN, and the defensive. So you're going to negate your brand plus all the brands that you're bidding on the brand ad group, and you're going to negate or exclude products, all the ASINs that you're bidding on in the ASIN ad group. And the last piece of the puzzle is the hit ad group, the new auto targeting. Now, if you created auto campaigns from the 15th of December 2018 on, you don't really need to go about doing so. But if you have campaigns, auto campaigns that are older, that were created before the 15th December 2018, you are not leveraging the new kind of targeting. So I would advise you to go inside, either create a new ad group, so a new campaign, or go on the old campaign and create a new ad group within the old campaign in order to leverage the new auto targeting. The auto targeting is super broad, so my advice will be to use a bid that is about 40% of the bid that you've used, or the highest bid that you use at PAT level. As far as the naming goes, like always, you keep silicone, spatula, bamboo, ASIN, and you will have dash it at the end. What? Now we created the shitloads of an additional campaign. We got already 4 campaigns for the keyword. We got 1 more campaign for the product targeting. Inside that campaign, there are several ad groups. What to do with this shitloads of stuff? It's not as hard as it might seem, and it's very, very, very scalable, whether you do it manually or, I mean, if you use an automation, it's even better, but it's very scalable to do, and not easy, but very doable to maintain periodically. The first step will be to download the search term report. I generally look at the last 60 days. So I generally download, you see, I go here, report periods, customize, and select the last 60 days. Lately, because I've done a lot of testing in order to come out with this strategy, I was looking at 30 days of data. You download it. It's going to come as an Excel file. You will add an Excel filter. You will add a filter on the headers, and we will work on one EPBA and PAT set at a time. So we'll select one product at a time, and you're going to use the advanced Excel filter in order to isolate each product, so each exact phrase brought out and PAT campaign at once, and you will work on them at once. The reason we do this is because each product might have a different ACOS target or will have a different cost. Okay. Now, the first action we take is to mine the good stuff. So from a spreadsheet, we want to identify search terms and ASINs now that have performed within profitability, and we want to take those search terms and ASINs out and bid on them as keyword or bid on them in our ASIN campaign. Perform within profitability means that assuming your profit margin for a product is 50%, any search term or ASIN that is performing below 50% is a break-even or at a profit. We want to identify them, take them out, and bid them a keyword. So for search term, what we will do is we take the search term and we add it in the exact campaign, in exact match. In the phrase campaign, we add it in a phrase match, and at the same time, remember search term isolation, and at the same time, we negate the exact match at campaign level, on phrase campaign level. In the broad campaign, we add the search term in broad match, and at the same time, we negate the phrase match at campaign level. Again, we negate the phrase from the broad campaign. For the ASIN, we're gonna take the good ASINs and we're gonna add them as positive target on the ASIN ad group, and we're gonna add them as negative target, so exclude product, in the category ad group. We're gonna add them as negative target, again, exclude product, in the brand ad group. And for now, we're gonna add them as negative keywords in the EAT product, so sorry, in the EAT ad group, in the auto ad group. It's very, very important. As of now, the search term report gives you ASIN all in small caps. Amazon will refuse ASIN small caps. So when you go in Campaign Manager to add a negative target that is small caps, Amazon will refuse it. So before adding your negatives, you need to change them in full caps. Very, very important. Remember this. 3. Now, once we found the good stuff and we mine it to keyword, now we want to identify the bad stuff and we want to stop it before it costs us more money. So again, we use the same search term report and we identify terms which is either higher ACOS of our threshold or they have too much spend without a sale. What does it mean too much spend without a sale? So assuming that I'm selling a product and I'm selling it for $10 and my profitability is 50%, my profit on the product is $5. Would it make sense to spend $6 to sell something that brings me $5 in my pocket? No. So I mean, there are different strategies here, but the bottom line is if you're selling something that costs $10, but you're selling for $10 and your profit margin is 50%, you wouldn't want to spend more than $5 to sell that. So we're going to identify either terms that have high ACOS or terms that have a high spend but zero sales, and we're going to take them and add them in the phrase campaign in negative exact, in the broad campaign in the negative exact, and in the auto campaign in negative exact, if they are search terms. If they're ASINs, we're going to take them and add them as negative target in the category campaign, category ad group, as negative target in the brand ad group, and as negative keywords in the auto ad group, it ad group. And remember, again, as before, you need to change them from small caps to all full caps. Okay, once this is done, so once we cleaned up a little bit our search terms, now we want to act on our bids. So I'm gonna download a bulk operation file. Make sure that when you download the bulk operation file, you select the same time frame you use the search term report with. So whether it is 60 or 30, make sure that you match the two time frames. As we did before, we're gonna filter out, we're gonna work on one set of campaigns at a time, and that's why the naming is so important, because the naming will allow you to do this very, very, very easily. And in the column B, which is the record type, we want to work only on the keyword record type and on the product targeting record type. Everything else we don't want to touch. Okay, just keyword and product targeting record types. Again, you can use an Excel filter to use this in the column B. And we will edit this. So we want to identify keywords and targets that have not performed within profitability. Very similar to what you did before to identify bad search term and bad ASINs. We're going to do the same here to identify bad keywords and bad ASINs. So bad means, again, ACOS higher than your threshold, ACOS higher than your break-even margin, or too much spend without a sale. And we're going to treat them in two different ways. If the keyword or ASIN has too much spend without a sale, we will set its bid to 0.20. Again, depends what's your 0.20 works for me and works for the mass majority of people. You might be in a very, very small non-competitive niche, and I'm in value. So you know your max bid could be 0.20, and it could be a lot, but generally speaking, 0.20 is a very low bid. So that's why we want to just stop bidding or bid a very low on things that is not performing or has not generated sales. So again, for the too much spend without a sale, set would be to 0.20, and for the high ACOS keywords or ASINs, I will give you a formula that you can run, and you will set bid to, you will take the sales price of the item you're working for, you multiply that sales price for your target ACOS percentage, and you multiply that for the percent conversion rate. CR is conversion rate, percentage of that specific keyword or ASIN. That will give you a number, which is the value that you should use, that you should adjust your bid to. Once you've done this for all your bulk operation file, you can just re-upload it. So you save it, and you go here, choose file, and you re-upload it back to Amazon. It will give you warnings and stuff. It is I find it very, very easy to troubleshoot. So I never had a problem with a bulk operation. There are other ways of doing it. But you know, if you're not leveraging any automation tool or any other thing, this is much better than doing a campaign manager one by one. When we gotta do this, I would advise you to do as often as possible. If you have a big team, you can go as often as one a day and once every day. But generally speaking, weekly is a very good time to do. So once every week, and you rinse and repeat 1 to 6. Bonus, and I'm almost finished. So here you find a link, it's here. So zntl.us/BBI. This is a sheet that I've used for the last couple of months to handle my PAT and all my other needs. It's a Google Sheet, so you will have to open the link. You will go to File, Download As, and you can download it as Excel, or you can make a copy on your Google Drive. The way you will use it is you download the bulk operation file from Seller Central. You will copy everything except the headers from the Seller Central file, and you will go where it says Pass Tier in red. You will right-click, Pass Special, Only Value. Okay, and you will paste only the value in here. You will then, is already selected filter, so you can filter the data out. And once you filter out a product, for each product, you will set your target maximum ACOS and your maximum spend without a sale. You put these two numbers, you will change the 60%, you will change it 20. And based on this, we will run all the number, and in column A, we will say either don't change the bid, or we will tell you 0.20, or we will tell you what the new bid should be based on the formula I gave you. I'm gonna put a YouTube video perhaps, so it's gonna be here, but as of now, I do not have a YouTube video going on this, something I put together just for you guys. But yeah, and basically once the new bids are here, you will remove the do not change, and you will copy all the bids from column A and paste them here on column K. Again, very important, right click, pass special, paste special, value only. And with this, I'm finished. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you liked it, and I hope you can put it to good use and make some money with it. If you do like the structure and the strategy that you've seen here made manually, know that we do have a software that was created by me and my partner that does this with a click of a button for you and automates it daily. So if there's any interest, go ahead and check Zon.Tools. If you like it, you can use coupon H10Elite, which is case sensitive, for a 30-day $1 trial and a lifetime 50% off.